All right, that was tough. Technical difficulties. We trying to figure this thing out. It's your boy Truck Fit Dre, my guy Sterling. We here to start something new called the AMF Show, America First. We got a couple of topics we want to go through. First topic we want to start with is the coming jihad on on Friday.
Yeah, Hamas leader and founding member Khaled Mashal calls for global Muslim uprising, asking for Muslims' blood and souls to be sacrificed for Palestine this upcoming Friday of Al Aqsa flood. This was from the Gateway Pundit, posted this morning at 8:45. Khaled Mashal, the former leader and founding member of Hamas, has called for a global Muslim uprising in support of Palestine. During a recent address on YouTube, Mashal emphasized the need for Muslims to sacrifice and carry jihad, including the willingness to offer their blood and souls to advance the Palestinian cause. Mashal has proclaimed the coming Friday the 13th as the Friday of the Al-Aqsa flood. Man, I'm getting goosebumps just reading this, urging Muslims worldwide to display their anger, not just in Muslim countries, but also in diaspora communities around the world. The name Al-Aqsa means the farthest mosque or the farthest sanctuary. The mosque is located within the Haram al-Sharif, also known as the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, Israel. This is nothing short of an undisguised call for international unrest. Given the volatility of the situation in Gaza and the broader Middle East, these words should not be taken lightly, Gateway Pundit says. The intention is to send a message of rage to Israel and the United States, but what might actually be unleashed is a wave of violence and discord that could engulf multiple nations. And we are particularly at risk with all this, considering how much money we give to Israel, considering how our borders are wide open. What do you think about this?
It kind of seems like we're funding both sides of the war. I mean, we had what was it, like five hostages? We traded $6 billion, and then 26 days later, voila. While at the same time, we funded Israel to create their dome, which cost 1.5 billion. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
it's kind of crazy and it's kind of insane. The way that Trump did the deportations might have been a little crazy, but when you look back at it now, like, it kind of makes sense why he did the things he did and how he did it.
Right. Everybody always blamed racism, but there's really just a national security threat by, when you get pulled over by a cop, they know who you are. They can look you up. They can't do that with the illegals. There's people just running around doing whatever. They're not in the system. They can't be logged. They can't be tracked and controlled at all. I mean, not like we should be tracked and controlled, but they're not part of our system. They're like ghosts just sliding through with the ability to screw with us.
Right. Yeah, man. And it's kind of messed up because at the same time they're being taken advantage of because they're working for lower wages. Of course, we know how that works. We got a guy who makes $25 an hour and he lives in the country, and then you got this guy who's willing to take $15 an hour. I mean, what is the businessman going to do, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up. And then, most of the people who come in and they get their I think they're getting like work visas and all of that stuff.
For sure.
And they have to come back. They have to come back and check in within like 60 days or some shit. Like, most of the people are
just
not
checking. Are you live on your?
No, yeah, bro. Like, let me check. Nah, man. I'm not, dude. Damn.
What the hell? Yeah, I'm not seeing it on mine either. What is the deal with that?
Bro, you call me crazy, but like, I don't know. It's almost like something is trying to block us from doing it, bro. Which they're not gonna succeed. Like, we're gonna figure this out, but shit out.
I can see it on your channel now.
You can see it on my channel now?
Yeah. I just clicked in the upper right on your logo, clicked view on YouTube, and it's there on your channel. Looks like. Sorry for this confusion, guys.
Nah, bro, it's all good. It's just like it's showing, and like we're getting views, but it's not showing it live though. That's what's crazy, bro. It's not showing it. It's not showing it live. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's almost like there's no way we could. I don't know why it's doing this,
I
man.
can see it live on your channel, but it doesn't look like it's going to mine.
Yeah, bro. We're
Sorry, I didn't
sorry,
mean
you
to.
guys. We're trying to figure this shit out. We don't know what the hell is going on or why it's not showing up. Why we both selected both of our channels for it to be streaming on both of our channels. It's not streaming.
Oh, multi-streaming is a premium feature. It says so that makes sense. We're live on yours, not on mine. So I
But
think we're all. I think we're all good.
yeah, that's crazy. But then again, it's like I click on my page, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
go to videos, and now the two streams that we canceled are showing up, but it's not showing up as in like we're live right now. You know what I mean?
It is on my PC. I can see it live on your channel.
You can see it live on my channel.
Yep.
All right, fuck it, we gonna rock out.
Yeah,
All right, we trying to figure all this shit out, y'all. Like we don't,
yeah.
we don't know what we're doing. We just came up with the idea, and we're gonna rock out. We're gonna get better as time goes.
It's all
So
good.
So we just covered Hamas,
Yes.
and we just covered the jihad that they're supposed to wage in the United States of America. There's been a warning to all of us to stay out of city centers. The second thing that we kind of want to talk about, man, is how the media is profiteering from this war. If anybody knows anything about traditional cable channels, well, cable is almost nearly extinct, right? And we just seen a video where there was somebody from CNN who was basically staging a video,
Oh
and
yeah, right.
yeah, and they came out with the statistics for people watching regular cable, and like the watch time has like damn near triple, and so they're making probably who knows how many hundreds of millions of dollars of putting out this propaganda. It's not propaganda as in the sense of people aren't dying. Like, yes, people are really dying, people are being harmed, but at the same time, they're creating more fake narratives. Do you think that there is three-letter agencies that still work within CNN, Fox, MSNBC, ABC, all of that shit? Like, do you think it's just like people who are actually real journalists, or do you think it's like actual agents who are actual real journalists? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about this shit, bro?
Well, we had the Twitter files, which came up in recent months, where it was exposed that the government has been infiltrating and controlling Twitter with all kinds of communications with the agents inside the operation. Um, so if considering how new social media is, I think that if they're that embedded in social media, it's virtually guaranteed that they're 100 times more embedded in mainstream media. And we know about Operation Mockingbird,
Okay.
which was exposed by the Church Committee, where it came out and revealed that the CIA had infiltrated American media corporations, and they claimed that it stopped, but it didn't. There's Smith-Mundt was the name of the legislation that I think outlawed propaganda in the U.S. And then there was the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, and then the Countering Foreign Disinformation and Propaganda Act under Obama that basically legalized domestic propaganda to counter foreign propaganda. So they went public with it during the Obama tenure, and we're seeing the fruits of that ever since then. I mean, look to leading up to the 2016 election, all the just blatant lies, the Russia Gate, everything through the whole period. It's all propaganda. They're all bought and paid for. Anderson Cooper, we know he was an intern at the CIA. You think that you work at the CIA and then you just don't all of a sudden anymore.
Right.
Sheep dipping is what they call it when they send an operative into like a foreign country under the guise of being a businessman to go and do business while really doing a CIA operation. That's exactly what we have now. Is just a bunch of sheep dipped agents, all embedded throughout mainstream media, in my opinion. So so we don't get sued.
Yeah. It's
um,
crazy. It's crazy, bro. I actually remember when I think that was about a year and a half ago, a year ago, where he was blatantly questioned on his platform about being a CIA operative, and he basically couldn't deny it. You know what I'm saying? But he said, I'm no longer doing that. But you know what I'm saying? I did before. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. It just makes me feel weird, bro, that the media is basically about to be extinct due to streaming services, and now all you got this war, and now everybody's trying to tune in to cable television, bro. Like, it totally makes sense to me, and it's kind of scary because we don't know who's telling the truth. We don't know who's who really. We don't know if our favorite person that's on the news panel is a operative. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10 they are. So that's why I enjoy alternative news sources, bro. I would much rather, I would much rather like watch somebody stream on YouTube than I would ever want to watch like Fox or CNN. Of course, like we have to go to those big news outlets to get information. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the world works because we don't have all of the tools that they have to get information out there and to collect information. But I would tell people believe half of what you hear and none of what you see, especially when it comes to the big media. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know if they're telling the truth or not. And 9 times out of 10, it's like they tell smidges of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Mixed in with a bunch of lies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
Poisoning well. Common disinformation tactic where you mix lies in with truth to discredit the truth by having blatant lies mixed in. It's called poisoning the well. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of half truths. Like we were talking with Devon the other day on Lou Valentino's stream, right? And he was bringing up Ukraine and how the 2014 Budapest Memorandum makes us responsible for, being there to defend Ukraine if they get into a conflict. But what he fails to recognize is that the Budapest Memorandum was never ratified by the Senate. And in order to have a treaty to obligate us to foreign causes, the president's signature is required, but it's also required that 2/3 of the Senate sign on to the treaty.
Right.
And while the Budapest Memorandum was written like a treaty and the president signed it, the Senate never signed off on it. So it's not legally binding. It's openly not legally binding.
Right.
And even if it had been, would it apply if they start a war by bombing the Donbass for, years and then blaming Russia and forcing Russia basically to intervene to protect the ethnic Russians living in the Donbass?
Right.
That's a whole nother subject, obviously, but
yeah,
the
man,
Budapest Memorandum is just a great example of twisted truths manipulated and by the left to push an image that's not really accurate. Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, bro, you're extremely knowledgeable when it comes to this shit. Like, I do my research, but like when it comes to the actual politics and agreements and all of that type stuff, bro, it seems like you're hella knowledgeable, bro. So I'm actually gonna follow your lead when it comes to a lot of this shit because I scratched the surface, but it seems like you really knowledgeable and you really went in deep with this shit. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that, bro, because a lot of people get on these platforms and they have no idea what the hell they talking about. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to be claimed to be all knowing or anything, but I spent a lot of hours Googling a lot of Alex Jones stuff back when Google worked.
Right.
And speaking of alternative media, what kind of places do you go? Who do you watch on YouTube? Where do you go for news?
I would say, you did put me on the spot. I would literally say like usually when a story pops up, I would just I look into it and I Google and you know what I'm saying I pay a lot of attention to what Lou Valentino will say or is talking about. I would say what's the other guy?
Black Conservative Perspective. They kind of streamed together a few times.
Not him. Bongino. I
listen. Dan Bongino. Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Patrick Beck David.
Nice.
I even mess with a lot of the tinfoil hat stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know it might be a little bit off the wall, but I love that guy. So I listen to a lot of his stuff. And,
which guy? Tinfoil hat, that's actually his name?
No, that's the name of his that's the name of his channel. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up right now. Uh,
Okay, I'll
Sam
I'll talk
Tripoli.
about a couple of
Sam
the.
Tripoli. Sam
Oh,
Tripoli.
yeah, I don't
Yeah, he
think
used
I know the name. Yeah, Sam
yeah,
Tripoli.
he used to be on the Rogan show, and like he said some
Nice.
pretty outlandish shit, and he got, I guess, like he can't go on Rogan for like the next 7 years until his contract is up. Because when he got that big
Hardcore.
$100 million contract for streaming and shit, like they told him specifically like that guy cannot be on here. But then again, like
Wow.
yeah, but then again, like a couple of weeks later, they let Alex Jones come on, so the shit was kind of extremely confusing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty
But
weird.
yeah, most
Joe
definitely.
definitely made a few concessions to Spotify, taking down a few episodes and things like that. But who
Yeah,
can blame
yeah.
him at
I
that point?
mean, yeah, bro. If you're getting $100 million, I mean, yeah, I'm taking some of their ass down too. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's one thing to change your principles entirely, but to take down a couple episodes, say maybe I won't interview one person, two people. You can
Right.
still the amount of benefit that he's still able to provide
Yeah.
outweighs the sacrifice. I think, in my opinion, pretty vastly in
Exactly.
that case.
Exactly.
I like a lot of those same channels too. Lou Valentino, Black Conservative Perspective, Mark Dice. Um, let's see, Benny Johnson, Fleckus Talks. I don't know if you ever watch those guys.
Benny Johnson, I like his stuff too. He does a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
good.
Benny's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Appreciate Benny Johnson. Yeah.
Alex a lot. I like Alex Jones a lot. I've been following him since 2008.
Okay.
Steadfast defender. I've heard all the accusations. I've researched them all. It's all lies. He's a shill for the Jesuits or whatever. He's Bill Hicks. And, stuff.
yeah, yeah, man. I love Alex Jones, bro. He's a character, but a lot of the shit that he said came out to be true. Like one of the things, I like what Dave Chappelle said, and he said, "I hate when they call people crazy because it's dismissive, right?
Hmm.
You never know, like somebody could actually be telling the truth. A lot of people, shit, at a time I thought Donald Trump was lying, and shit, he was actually telling the truth. You
Yeah.
can't just dismiss somebody because you don't agree with them, bro. A lot of these people are actually in tune with what's going on in the world, and they're actually telling the truth. It's just that we've been indoctrinated by the media machine, and the media machine is so strong, bro. They have so much time and resources and money, and then they have the backing of all these big corporations. It's damn near impossible to not believe them if you don't do your own research. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally have to be out here in the world and turn some of that shit off sometimes and do your own research, and then you start to see different results.
Yeah.
Trump told us there was no Russian collusion. There was no Russian collusion, right? The Christopher Steele dossier, what did that turn out to be? Hillary Clinton's campaign paid $1 million for that shit, and it was
To
fake. Like,
Russian spies, right? Like who's colluding with
yeah,
Russia?
yeah, golden showers and shit. Like, what's that all about? You remember that, bro? Like,
Yeah, totally. He
I like,
picked the room that Obama stayed in and had hookers,
yeah,
give him golden
like,
showers.
yeah, bro.
Trump is a germaphobe. That did at its face, none of that made sense. He's independently wealthy. There's no reason for him to collude with Russia or need their backing or anything. On
None
its
of that.
face, it made zero sense. From the day one, I said there is a 0% chance of it being
Right.
accurate. Zero. And typically you want to at least give a 1% chance because you don't know, right?
Right.
But in this case, I was like, no, 0% makes no sense.
Yeah.
He's
At
like
all.
the epitome of an independent thinker and operator who with
Right.
his own infrastructure and just tons of dough. There's no reason for him. What would be the motivation?
Yeah.
There's no motivation. Cui
Yeah.
bono?
Yeah. He's losing more than if he would just shut up and not run for president. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you know he's really convicted and he's serious about, you know what I'm saying, saving our country. And I
Mhm.
definitely like I said, I'm a logical dude. I go with logic. And right now, it's more logical for us to have him as president because
Oh yeah.
if you look at our commander in chief right now, bro, he doesn't make us look strong. He makes us look weak. We look weak. We look incompetent. He can't. Yeah, like
Which direction
oh, that way or this way, like this motherfucker bumping into walls and walking into walls and shit and flags and curtains, like losing himself in curtains, like it's embarrassing, bro. Like if
Defeated
that
by
was my
sandbags.
father, I would be pissed off right now. Like
Yeah,
y'all need
elder
to,
abuse.
yeah, he needs to be in a convalescent home. like, you know what I'm saying, like the best one possible, you know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah, he does not need to be running for president right now.
Yeah, and it's not a like just an age thing. You know, people age differently. Trump's about the same age, but he's still sharp. Man,
Right.
my neighbor that lived nearby me forever, he was a Korean War veteran, Mr. Roser, who's the
Yeah.
mayor of our street, we called him.
Yeah.
He's like 95 right now, and he's like the sharpest dude around still. We were hanging out with him a few weeks ago, and he was telling us stories from like the 40s, 50s, like it was yesterday.
Right.
All the details. We worked for one of these big international magazines. I can't remember which one it was at the moment. I'm trying to blank, but
Yeah.
it's like he's still there. He's still with it. He's still got all his faculties. That's clearly not the case with Joe Biden, and it was blatantly obvious during the run, all throughout 2019, even as far back as 2018 when he announced that he was running, and the race started picking up. Or no, I'm thinking 2019. That was when the race really started. But it was just so obvious. He couldn't even say a sentence, and it was the gaslighting from the media. The only reason I think that they really wanted him in there is because he's a perfect puppet. I don't know if you've seen the interview with Obama, but he's like, if I could come up with an arrangement,
Yeah.
if I could come up with an arrangement where I were to sit in the basement for, and have somebody else be the front man and just kind of feed them the talking points through an earpiece.
Right.
That's Biden. That's his guy. Like,
hey, bro, and you could tell like Obama be fucking with him in the earpiece because he'll say some wild shit like, "My butt's been wiped." Have you seen that?
My butt's been wiped. Oh my god, dude.
Bro, I know that was Obama in his ear telling him some shit. That's the, you know what I mean? And Joe, he just gonna say what he told to say. So like, what man in his right fucking mind is gonna say my butt's been wiped unless he was told to say that shit? Like just straight on cue out of nowhere. Like they're literally about to ask him a question and he walks up to the podium and he's like, my butt's been wiped. Like,
yeah,
whoa.
That was so out of nowhere. It was right around that time, I think like a week before that, where Alex Jones was saying that he had contacts in the Secret Service who were talking about Joe Biden's dementia and that he was soiling himself and walking around the halls of the White House at night. And then it was like within a week, the my butt's been wiped thing happened.
Yeah.
And from then on, it's like deep fakes are so good now. How often do we even see Joe Biden, right? We know that they have that White House set. That's not even the real White House down the street from the White House, and that he does broadcasts from there. Like you could tell because it's like it's right down the block. You can tell it's not the White House because the view out the windows is not of the Rose Garden. It's like a different view.
Whoa.
And they got called out on it right after he took the office and admitted that that's the case, that they have a set. So why? What's up with that? Like maybe they're claiming so that they can have like press in there and it can look like the Oval Office and stuff, but like it's all a projection, it seems.
Yeah. And I'm sorry for the background sound, you guys. Like, I'm currently in my truck. This is what I do. I literally had to pull into a love so we could do this episode. And it's definitely going to start to be different. I think I'm going to start getting hotel rooms at night whenever we do episodes and shit. So y'all don't have to hear none of these engine sounds or none of these crazy truck sounds. But let's go to the next subject, bro.
Let's do it.
This is a little bit off the wall. So have you heard anything about the frequencies that are being released through these emergency alerts?
I have 18 gigahertz.
Yeah. So there is actually
allegedly.
No, bro, this is real. There's actually a patent that was created to where the frequency that they're sending out through these emergency alerts can communicate with the vaccines, and it'll cause you to lose your religious sense. And I'm about to let's go ahead and share this. Let's go ahead. Give me a second. I want to show. I'm gonna share my screen. I want to go exactly to the video. Yeah, bro. This shit. It really. This one right here. It really scared me. Okay, so boom.
Yeah, there was a military lawyer a couple weeks ago who released a video saying that he had information that Marburg disease, as well as Ebola and other pathogens, were hidden inside liquid nanoparticles located in the vaccines. If you do a Google Scholar search for self-assembling nanoparticles COVID vaccine, you'll get dozens of articles of scholarly papers talking about the existence of these self-assembling nanoparticles within COVID vaccines. And
Yeah, bro.
apparently this frequency will cause the nanoparticles, the lipid nanoparticles, to swell and burst, releasing the pathogens into the bloodstream. There was supposed to be a test, the EAS test on the 4th, where this was potentially going to happen. And then if they didn't do it then, it was supposed to be today. So hopefully it didn't happen. We won't know for a few days, I guess, because however long it takes Marburg to...
I turn my shit off today, dude. But all right, so this is Off the Grid with Doug and Stacy. I check him out a lot.
I just
And
found him like 2 weeks ago.
Bro, mind blowing.
Good.
Now y'all watch this shit. Now, I don't know why they
affect your brain. Okay, just listen very closely to what they say, and they can actually take your religious beliefs away from your body via vaccine. Check this out.
Here we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene.
I just gotta say something. So praising God that means you're a religious fanatic. I'm confused. I'm just saying. But I mean, even though our country was supposed to be founded on Christian morals and values, but
over here we have over here we have individuals who are particularly religious, and you can use much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach. But he's suggesting here is by studying this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from going on a bomb vest and going into a market, blowing up. Our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by fighting them against.
Can you hear me? I think we lost Dre here. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. Give us just a second and we'll get this worked out. Trying to get him back in here. Yes, we can just assume that the globalists are messing with us and cutting the feed on us. Apologize again for the delay here. Be right back. I'm going to go ahead and pause the stream for right now, but we will be back shortly.